Greetings, Holy Ones. I am your brother Anuhazi, and today we're going to be talking about and introducing you to Keylontic Science, which is part of the scientific information in these Emerald Order teachings, also called the Inner Christos Law of One. This is the Keylontic Science introduction, a prelude to the Cathara Healing video playlist series, and this introduction video will be discussing what is Keylontic Science, also called Keylonta, which will teach you about creation, consciousness, energy dynamics, spiritual evolution, the human organism, multidimensional identity, the human soul, DNA activation, spiritual ascension, the dynamics of time, space, and matter, and about ultramicroparticles, antiparticle dynamics, and the 12 human senses. These are the things that we'll be talking about today in this video. Now, I have placed time codes in the video description below, so if you want to skip to a different part, please do so. But for the rest of you, we will start at the beginning. So thank you guys for being here, and consider subscribing to this channel if you like what you hear and want to know more about spiritual awakening and ascension. This is actually a large workshop series with the Cathara, and this is why we'll be breaking it down into like smaller videos, smaller chunks, kind of like this one, so it is easier to study and understand. And I'm a representative of the Emerald Order, which is a group of guardian beings that come from other dimensional systems outside of 3D, and some of them are extraterrestrial, such as the Guardian Alliance. Some of them are metaterrestrial, such as the Elohai Solar Rishi, and some of them are ultra-terrestrial, which you would call ascended masters, which means they're completely outside of the framework of time and space as we know it. Now, the Emerald Order is a large multidimensional guardian group that I speak for, and I've been a student of this group since I've had my own personal spiritual awakening in 2010. And I'm here today to share with you some of the things that I've learned. My goal is to provide you a comprehensive understanding of what your consciousness is about, and also give you some understanding and information about other dimensional beings and your connection to them. This workshop series, it will delve into practical strategies for leveraging knowledge about what's called your bioenergetic field to expedite your personal evolution, encompassing both your spiritual and biological evolution. Historically, spiritual evolution and biological evolution have been viewed kind of like two distinct or separate processes. However, my perspective has changed, largely due to these insights from the Guardian Alliance and these Emerald Order teachings. And these teachings introduced me to the science of Keylonta, a multifaceted science encompassing light, sound, subconscious symbol codes, and what's called the foundation codes of our physical matter. Keylontic Science offers a profound exploration of the human psyche, the cosmos, matter, antimatter, and the interrelationships among these elements. And I would like to share with you today some of the information I have learned about the science, and hopefully, we can grow in our learning together, because I am a fellow student, like many of you are, of the Emerald Order teachings, and I have a feeling that our species, we're going to be learning this for a long time. And so the first question is, what is Keylontic Science? Keylonta has many, many healing applications. And in fact, it has applications across the board, everything that affects our universe, our society, our personal lives, because the real core of Keylontic Science is that it is the science of consciousness and the science of creation. And it's the underlying structures of what matter is created from. And it is the underlying structures of consciousness. There are some other things that Keylontic Science also is. It is the science of creation and consciousness. It is the science of macrocosmic and microcosmic interrelationships. It is the science of energy, dynamics, and the formation of matter and consciousness. It's the science of biological evolution, consciousness evolution, and spiritual evolution. And that's not all. It's the science of humanity's relationship to its source and the cosmos. It's the science of the perceptions, potentials, and construction of the human organism and consciousness. It is the science of our structure of our multidimensional universe and humanity's multidimensional identity and humanity's relationship to other sentient life forms within that multidimensional universe. Keylonta is these things and it's more. It is the science of the human soul and the family tree of multidimensional consciousness out of which all of us emerge, which is something not too many scientists know here. That sounds like something you would find more in the realms of religions, right? Or churches. But in truth, there is no difference between science and religion. We only perceive it to be here on Earth. Science does have a soul, but it hasn't found it yet. And Keylonta is the place where we can begin to find that soul. Keylonta is the science of DNA template activation, genetic imprinting, cellular memory, and transmutation of physical body matter, like Ascension, Through understanding the dynamics of Keylonta, we can literally change the way our DNA operates. The DNA governs the structure of our physical body, and it's the physical body that will determine what type of higher dimensional consciousness we're able to bring into our embodied D3 conscious minds. D3 stands for Dimension 3. There's an intimate connection between spirit, your spiritual aspects, which are your higher dimensional aspects, and your D3 consciousness moving through your D3 body here on Earth. Because you can have a wonderful level of development of consciousness in the higher dimensions, but if you have a neurological structure, a body template here in D3 that is not able to handle the current of all that higher electrical information, you won't have access to it on a conscious level here in the D3. So the science of Keylonta gives us the tools and the understanding of our parts enough that we can start to expand the potentials of our body, so we can bring in more of that higher consciousness and awareness, so we can bring in more of our soul matrix into manifestation here. Remember that the soul matrix exists in dimensions 4, 5, and 6, and D4, D5, and D6. Keylontic science is a science of dimensional ascension, teleportation, bilocation. It's like regeneration of your multidimensional spiritual identity. Because once you understand how to play with these little particles that you're composed of, these units of consciousness that Keylonta will teach you about, things like teleportation will come easily to you. You won't need a machine to do it, because you will know how to change the vibrational rates of your molecular structure. Do I know how to do that yet? No, but I'm first in line as far as wanting to learn, and we're getting the foundations of that. One day, if we work with these tools, will teach us how to do these things. There are extraterrestrial races that are in biology, and they're not just the metaterrestrials who don't have bodies anymore. They are in bodies, and they know this science, and who are able to manifest and de-manifest at will. They're able to walk through solid objects. They're able to travel through time with no problem at all. Things that seem only science fiction to us here on Earth. It's because guardian extraterrestrials understand the principles of Keylontic science. It explores the dynamics of time and space and matter, and how those qualities of our externalized reality are created. What are they really? Where do they come from? Are they what they appear to be? Some of these questions will be answered through Keylontic science. We find that time is not linear as we perceive it to be, but simultaneous in nature. We will find that space only takes place in something called non-space. We will find that matter is actually an illusion, a holographic illusion created by the refraction of energy particles and light and sound frequencies. When we find things are much different than our five senses tell us they are, we begin to explore Keylonta, because Keylonta is the science of ultra microparticles and antiparticle dynamics. It is the science of the 12 human senses, not just the 5. And basically, Keylontic science is the science of light, sound, subconscious symbol codes, and the base codes of matter. And we'll be learning what they are. We know light and we know sound, but what are subconscious symbol codes? And what are the base codes of matter? So this is just like a summary of what you'll be learning in Keylontic science and the Kathara Biospiritual Healing Workshop. It's like a playlist series. And I sincerely thank you guys for watching this introductory video about the science of Keylonta. And if you like what you heard today in this video, please like and subscribe and consider supporting this work. There's a donation link below, or you can become a paid member or even purchase one of my crystals or artworks on my Etsy shop, link below. Thank you so much, you guys. And you definitely want to click on the next video that comes up on the screen here, because in that video, we're going to be talking about what is Kathara healing, what is the divine blueprint, the anatomy of your spiritual body and consciousness, anatomy of physical matter, the template of energy called the Kathara grid, about the primary life force currents coming from Source God, and about soul integration, about the horrible DNA genetic mutation on Earth that affects all life, the distortions of science, and also Atlantis we're going to talk about, and also the Lucifer rebellion from 25,500 BC, the holographic framework of reality, the base 12 genetic alphabet versus the mutated base 4 genetic alphabet, junk DNA, checkerboard DNA mutation, and about avatar consciousness. So you definitely want to click on that video. Thank you, Starseed family. I'll see you in the next video in the playlist series. Omni love, peace, namaste, holy ones, machiwa.